No land, no house. October 28 will mark 1 year since Hurricane Melissa touched down in Jamaica. The destruction was devastating, leaving many families sleeping out in the elements. These two females that you see here on the thumbnail, they lost everything. Their house blew down, and Melissa even carried away the chicken from the yard. I covered their stories during Hurricane Melissa. They cried and they lamented about their losses and they begged the public for help. Hurricane Melissa brought a renewed focus to land ownership in Jamaica. YaadBossTV research showed that over 700,000 Jamaicans lived on land they do not own. In addition, many of those households do not have homeowners insurance policies that would cover catastrophic disasters. The people, thank you guys so much for joining another live stream. I go by the name Yard Boss. Please subscribe to the channel, the people. So now the cameras are gone. The aid has slowed and the hidden crisis continues. No work to put money in their pockets to rebuild. No land ownership. More stress. More sufferation. So many say that the government is moving too slow and should give people money to rebuild. However, the government has a policy of not issuing rebuilding grants to people who do not own their land that they occupy, right? And it does not replace, right? It does not give them free container homes on capture land. The people. In the video that I'm about to play, we will see the government officials see what they are proposing, and then we'll also examine whether or not they're explaining to the people them why it is taking so long for the assistance to reach to the less fortunate and the most vulnerable people in our society, my people. Again, I go by the name Yard Boss. Thank you guys so much for joining another live stream. Please like the video, and if this is your first time seeing me on your screen, please subscribe to the channel. All right, let us bring the video to the stage right now, my people. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to hear from the opposition leader right now, Marky G, Mark Golden.
And I must say that I am very, very disappointed in the government's response to the plight of the people who are affected by the hurricane. We have promises for housing support, apart from the roof program, which wasn't even 0.5% of GDP, and which was very inadequate because even those who lost their entire homes were only given 500,000 Jamaican dollars.
So the roof program, I believe one of the minister was in charge of that, right? And I've had even subscribers to YaadBossTV reach out to me, right? Because them I say, YaadBoss, you not get no money. And I asked them, do you actually own the land that you're on? And the answer was like, no, YaadBoss, we don't own the land, but we have a lease. Yes. The government, they have a policy where they're not giving anybody any money unless you actually own the land, my people. So if your roof is supposed to be repaired, you have to show a title for the land. If you have a catastrophic loss where every single thing blow down, you have to show land title. The people, let us continue to listen to Marky G right here.
As a contribution.
Look right here, some people. This is actual footage. Let me blow it up. This is actual footage that was taken recently of a Jamaican people. So let me pause it for a second. Woman still sleeping on rocking chair 8 months after Hurricane Melissa. Rocking chair she asleep on and chop all in my people. The boardhouse blood on gone in the winds of Hurricane Melissa. And look there right there, so. What could cause something like this, the people? Remember, in places like where you would say, Black River, Westmoreland, all of them places there, that Hurricane Melissa actually hit the people. All of the business them downtown Black River shut down, Majority of the business them, 90, I would say 95% of the business them is not operating. And remember, people used to work in those businesses. So if there's no jobs there, where the people them are going to find money from to rebuild? The cameras are gone, my people. But people down there still are suffer and are dead off. And the government is extremely slow in coming to the rescue of Jamaicans, the people. Look right there, sir. The woman is sleeping in a rocking chair. See there? See the house there? A board house, one little part of the structure is still standing. Yes, one little part of the house is still standing. You see underneath there? Tarpaulin, board house. Look there, mighty God. Look on the rest. The people them don't have the money to invest in even materials. Thank God for the tarpaulin. I say them the tarpaulin there, it not gonna last forever, It's not gonna last forever. Because eventually holes are gonna start boring in them the tarpaulin there. And the tarpaulin being exposed to the sun, eventually the threading it's gonna lose the threading and it's gonna start to leak. The people. I'm wondering, see the hole there? See hole already in the tarpaulin right there, so to the right side. Yes, the people. I wonder if the government is actually going around and giving the people them new tarpaulin because it's coming up on almost 1 year. Yes, boy. And right there, so I believe more than likely that person is actually living on a capture land. That the person did not own the land that she's on. Yes. Let us continue. And then we're going to hear the members of parliament actually discussing the solutions to this problem. It is a massive problem, people. 700,000 people, right? Let us say 150,000, 200, let's say 300,000 people were affected in Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth. And them the people they now work. Don't you believe that the government right now need to start doing some land amnesty program and get this thing moving really, really fast? Because the longer they're outside in the element, now work, depression are going to set in, and a lot of them are people are going sick and dead. Mighty God of Daniel. It's rough from all angles, my people. Please like the live stream, my people. Please like the stream. These are very, very important topics, right? To continue to follow the people.
Yes, sir.
All right, watch this out.
Sir, yes, sir.
Watch
Yes,
this
sir.
out.
To my attention.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
So this is a comrade, right? Down there, I believe, one of them constituency, I believe the constituency was affected by Hurricane Melissa. I'm not 100% sure, but I found this video, right? And I think it is a good laugh. So this comrade right here, right, Andrew Wallace is actually holding out his hand, right, for a handshake. And there is Damian Crawford right there, so trying to convince the lady to shake Bogard's hand, and the woman would not shake Bogard's hand. Let us repeat it again. See it, yeah?
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To my attention.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lando.
That is a hardcore comrade. A lot of comrades in that situation would actually shake the Prime Minister hand, but this a woman, yeah, she's serious. She's serious about her politics. So she knows, sir. I'm not shaking your hand, sir. Even though you give me something, me not shaking your hand, sir. Mighty God of Daniel. All right, so now let us get into the serious part of the live stream here, my people. Land ownership in Jamaica, my people. I believe that every single Jamaican, my people, once you reach a certain age in your work, a certain amount of years, my people, you should be able to save up enough money to buy a piece of land. Land is extremely expensive in Jamaica. Very, very expensive. Even in rural areas. Even in a country, a whole heap of money for land, my people. What about a piece of land for a 2 million or a 1.5 or even a 5 million? Bro God, you can't cut up some of them, the government land there, and start sell them off for a million or 1.5. Build some communities. Yes? Cut up the land there. Container home communities and sell them off for cheap so people can have a piece of Jamaica land. We love to say, yes, we own this. Boy, I tell you.
Ownership issues are seriously hampering the rebuilding of homes damaged by Hurricane Melissa. Despite those roadblocks, Parliament's Public Accounts Committee was told that other initiatives are underway to provide housing for hurricane victims. Details from Andrea Chisholm.
Roughly 9 months after Hurricane Melissa wreaked havoc on the western end of Jamaica, some people are still without homes, roofs, or somewhere to lay their head. The matter is even more urgent as Jamaica enters the peak of the hurricane season.
All right, let me just say this before the politicians them start talking, right? If this hurricane, yeah, God forbid, had hit like places like Kingston, St. Andrew, those places, a lot of those homes in those areas, right, mortgage or no mortgage, them the people they have something that's called homeowners insurance. So if hurricane come and lift off the wall of the roof, right, the insurance company is going to come in and they're going to repair the roof. Some insurance policy have something that's called a deductible. Yes, the homeowners them they will pay the deductible and the roof will be fixed. Most of the homes in a Kingston, they are also concrete structure, the people. Yes, so that means only the roof would have gone. Yes, and the actual structure itself would still be intact. Yes, a lot of the places them where you see down like a Parity, St. Elizabeth, and right down a Black River right there. So all of them the brick structure where you see just mashed down is because that is right under water and the flood water come in and mash up all of them thing there. But most of the homes in a Kingston is mostly like inland, so you would have like a lot of roof damage. So this is the difference between a developed area that is where you would say the people them have a little bit more disposable income compared to where Hurricane Melissa actually got down there in St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, right? That is where a lot of boarded structures are, right? And a lot of people, they do not own the land in those areas. Yes. And even YaadBoss, when I was covering Hurricane Melissa, I was shocked. I was surprised. I was so naive, my people. I did not know that we had so many boarded homes in Jamaica. I did not know that. I did not know that.
Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Ambassador Rocky Mead, reiterates that 1,200 modular units are ready to be deployed.
Is there any impediment around land ownership in terms of the deployment of those units?
It is a consideration that is a part of what has delayed us. It is an important consideration because, of course, we can't, the government can't facilitate construction on property that we are not sure that the recipient is authorized to benefit from.
Pass it right there, sir. Him say they have 1,000 to deploy. And in St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, if them can't find 1,000 people in that the area there, we own the land to put 1,000 at the container homes, it's a problem. That means that every single home will blow down there, the people them not own the land down there. The people them are Parity, them own the land at Parity. Most of the homes in a Parity is concrete structure, the people. Yes? But because them depend the water actually mash up the concrete structure them. But 1,000 him up, and him can't find 1,000 people who own that land. We're not going to hear what him say him do in order to deploy those 1,000. They need way more. They need maybe about 20,000 to 50,000 of those homes. Yes, that is what they need.
So it is actually one of the things that has delayed us.
Ambassador Meade explained how the issue would be resolved.
We've actually done some constructions on land under the control of the NLA. So where persons are in need and they can't show that they have authority to construct on land, we've been using government lands to provide some solution.
And what a
Yeah, but they're going to need to do way, way more than that. Way, way more than that. Right? Maybe you're going to have some form of relocation going on. Right? If the people them actually live on land that is not government land, right? Private land that there's something that's called like adverse possession claim, right? If they don't have an adverse possession claim in process, or if they can't put in one to get the modular homes, more than likely the government would have to relocate them, you know. But boy, we don't know if they have any lawyer group down there that is like advocating for these people. I don't know. But as you guys saw in the beginning, right, when you see the woman with the blue tarpaulin upon the blasted house, we're talking about 8 months later going on to 1 year, my people. This problem is going to continue for a while, you know, because the government is extremely slow, you know, my people. Almost 1 year, them have just 1,000 container homes, them have 1 year. Them should have 50,000. And being robust and start selling off some of the land them, even when you have to mortgage off the land them to the people them and tell them, say, all right, on the first set of payment I go start in the next 5 years or something like that. So the people them can get back on them foot.
about those who own lands in flood-prone areas?
We will not be putting any modular units in locations that we think are particularly vulnerable. The idea is not to rebuild in spaces that would have had significant impact.
Has there been consultation with the representatives to say this particular area, we're not rebuilding there, we're moving the people to X place? Has that been done?
I'm aware of some consultations, Chair. What I say, I'm not the one conducting the consultations. That's under a different ministry. But I'm aware, rather, of consultations already underway.
Those consultations are being led by the Ministries of Labor and Economic Growth along with the partner agencies. In the meantime, an Auditor General...
All of them, the land there, where you look on right there, so. Every single one of them, the house there, where you see right there, so. Most of them are capture land, them live on. Capture land. And most of the capture land is private land. But if they're on private land for 12 years, right, with no interference from the owner, you can exercise an adverse possession and take possession of that property and get a title for it.
The report pointed out that up to February 2026, of the $1.44 billion received in cash donations to assist Jamaicans impacted by the hurricane, only $26 million was spent.
You see, all of that too, all of that is a problem, you know, right? How much billions them get, and only couple million alone them spend out of it. No free money that. A free money that way you can go buy some land and issue out some land to some people, you know, and buy one whole heap of container. You know how much container home them the billions they can buy? Boy, Andre, how are you there? Andre Stevens say you should buy like 50,000 of them the home there and just give it out for free to everybody.
The Meade provided further context.
The totality of the donations we got included cash and kind, and the priority was to use up the resources in kind first. So by reporting that at a certain point, only a small percentage of the donated funds were used, it doesn't capture the fuller picture, and it was a part of the plan that most of the funds that were donated would be used for the more medium-term sustainable recovery, including the housing solutions.
PAC Chairman Julian Robinson said the specific purpose of the fund should have been clearly communicated. Andrea Chisholm, TVJ News.
Let me tell you, my people, basically what we just hear from them politicians there is that we are on our own. Yes, the woman that we showed earlier that is sleeping in a rocking chair 9 months later, she's on her own. The people them that are in communities where uno no get clean water and uno still a walk go a river since Hurricane Melissa, you're on your own. If you depend and still a wait for the government come rescue you, dog, I go nyam uno supper. We have to get resourceful and start using our hand, make fashion the people. Yes, the people, we're going to continue to follow these stories. One day, we may have somebody on the ground to actually go and document, right, what is going on in these communities currently, because we now see a lot of videos coming out of these communities to show the grim realities. Right now, St. Elizabeth crime rate is through the roof. We now hear it on the news, my people. St. Elizabeth, parts of Manchester. You see, nationwide, crime rate is going down, but in those two parishes, crime is actually ticking up the people, going back to last year numbers and beyond. Yes? Thank you guys so much for joining another live stream, my people. Big up yourself, Annie. Big up yourself, Beverly. Let us see who else is here. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow at some point. All right, my people. Walk good. I go by the name Yard Boss. Still homeless after Hurricane Melissa. Have a good night. Bye bye. Bye bye.